Hmm. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're having an opportunity to watch this. Thank you for your patience. For those that were ready at 9:30, we had some server issues, and gratefully the technician was in here. It's just the server's in my office, so it would have made it awkward to try to do a meditation or any kind of contemplative practice at that time. So, and what I've been noticing is as I've been preparing for today's, um, in case you wonder ever if these affect me, they do. And I too am going through my process with them, and found that this one is particularly challenging for me. And so I invite you to be with it as much as you can, and know that we're all in it together and working through it together and figuring it out together, and that God is with us while we're doing all of this. We are not alone. All right, so I invite you to go ahead and close or lower your eyes and get comfortable where you're seated, allowing the chair or the floor to support you, allowing your body to just relax. We're going to take 3 deep breaths together, starting from empty. Ah. And again. Ah. One more time. Ah. As you're breathing, just notice any place where you may be carrying some tension. And as much as possible, breathe into those places, relaxing, allowing yourself to be fully present in this moment, allowing your breathing to have an easy ebb and flow to it. Breathing in God's love, breathing out God's love, easily and effortlessly. Letting go of anything that has come before or anything that might be getting in the way of you being fully present. Knowing that you can pick it up when this time is finished. And invite you now to go to that place where you feel safe to explore your spiritual journey with God, safe to look at things in your past. And just notice, it may be the same place you've gone to week after week during Lent, or it may be a completely different place. So I invite you to get present with where you are today. What do you notice? What sights do you see? What sounds do you hear? What do you smell? What do you taste? What sensations are there? Are you wrapped in a warm, cuddly blanket? Are you feeling the breeze, the warm breeze on your skin? Are you where it's sunny? Is it cloudy? Is it, whatever it is. Are there trees, mountains, the ocean? Are you just in your favorite room? Wherever you are, I invite you to just relax into that sense of safety and peace, knowing that you're surrounded with God's love and that God is present and is living and moving and breathing in, through, and around you in this moment. God above us, God below us, to our left and our right, before us and behind us, and all around and inside. You are safe in this place right now. Sunday marked the beginning of Holy Week. And we started with the triumphal entry. And we touched on Jesus' communion with his disciples on the Last Supper, which we'll commemorate even more during our Maundy Thursday service. And then the betrayal that happened after that, and the death that happened on Good Friday, and then the resurrection on Easter morning, that hope, that new life. I would like you to take a moment and contemplate on what situation in your life mirrors this Passion Week story. What situation in your life mirrors this story? When have you experienced celebration, communion, betrayal, death, and resurrection? Is there a time in your life where you experienced some of these things? How did this experience shape your life and your journey, your spiritual journey, and your relationship with God? How was that shaped as a result of this? So I'd like you to just take a few moments and bring to mind that situation. Remembering that the death part of this may be you having to let go of a part of yourself, or let go of a relationship, or let go of an old way of thinking, whatever it was that needed to die so that new life could be born, so that there was space for that new life. I know this is not an easy place to go. I know that it can be painful to remember betrayal, to remember death. But let's start with the celebration part, and start with remembering that. And start with remembering that time of celebration where whatever was happening was something that was wonderful in your life, that you thoroughly enjoyed, and that was just brought you so much joy and happiness. I'm going to give you a few moments to think of the situation, and also to write down your thoughts about it, particularly around this idea. Stay with the celebration, focus on that aspect, and after just a few minutes, I'll move you into each of the other aspects of this story, of your story. As you are ready, move on to the communion aspect of the experience that you're contemplating in your life that mirrors this Passion Week story, where there was celebration and then communion, um, and what that looked like for you. And write out in detail. Write out not only what you were feeling and experiencing, but also see what you can capture as far as words or feelings that were happening for you at that time, or other body sensations that were going on, or maybe there was some particular sound or scent or something that brings this situation, this experience to mind. As you focus both on the celebration aspect and the communion aspect, that celebrating and being with other, whatever the situation was, even if that other was being with yourself. So just take a few moments. I'm going to give you 3 to 5 more minutes to write on that. And allow any of the background noises to just help bring you deeper into this contemplative practice. All right, as you're reflecting on your story, this is the hard part for me. I'm even feeling pause at it right now, is the betrayal. The going from the joy, the celebration, the communion, to the absolute betrayal. So take a few moments and write about the betrayal and what it is that, what happened during that time and how you felt betrayed, and just in as much detail as possible. And include in that how you related to God during that betrayal time. And when you are ready, move on to what needed to die, what was put to death, whether it was in you, whether it was in actuality, whatever your experience, what needed to die or what did die. And remember to breathe. It's easy when we get into these things of betrayal and death to hold our breath. So remember to breathe as you consider and write a little more about the betrayal and the death aspect, and remembering to include how God interacted with you during those times and what you were feeling. Give you about 3 to 4 minutes. Allow yourself to just be with whatever feelings are coming up in this moment. And continue to write. Go ahead and finish up the thought that you're on, knowing you can come back to this at any moment. And I invite you to just put your pen or pencil down for a moment and close your eyes. And just feel for a moment what it's like from that moment of celebration and communion to the betrayal and the death. Allowing yourself the gamut of feelings. Giving yourself some grace for wherever your relationship with God ended up during those times. And breathing. And from this experience of celebration, communion, betrayal, and death, what was resurrected in you? What came alive for you next? What changed for you? What, out of this experience, what resurrected in your life? And you may just now be coming to that realization that, oh my goodness, there is something that did resurrect, or there is a change in me, or there is a new way of thinking or being or showing up in the world, or if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have taken this path, and I'm on a completely different path or journey, or I'm a completely, have changed, or any number of things. But I invite you to just consider and be in that space now of resurrection. What resurrected in you? And take about 3 to 5 minutes to write that down. I'm going to give you just about another minute. I know it's not easy to go through that arc, but hopefully you have found something within the resurrection part of the story that has given you hope and joy and new life. And I'd like to give the last couple of minutes that we have for you to just consider how how that experience shaped your life, how it affected your spiritual journey and your relationship with God. And go ahead and just take a minute or two to jot that down. Yeah, how it affected your life and how you see it now from this vantage point as a reflection of what Jesus went through. So I'll give you a couple minutes for that. Go ahead and finish up the thought that you had, or that you're having. And go ahead and put your pen or paper down, pen or pencil, knowing that you can come back and write more. Let's just take 3 deep breaths together, starting from empty, because we've been on quite a journey this morning. Big breath in, letting it out. Again. And again. Oh. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and toes and come back into this time and space. Knowing that you can take additional time to write more if more came up for you. I know the first time that I did this, it was a really profound experience to realize that something that I had kind of been stuck in, that betrayal death piece, when I really took the time to think about the resurrection piece, what freedom there was and what joy there was and how much gratitude I had for the fact that this situation that on the outside looked awful in my life actually was a turning point and shaped my spiritual journey in ways that I could never have imagined prior to that. So, and part of it was having to let go of old belief systems and old thought patterns and ways I had been being in the world, and be willing to step into the fullness that God had for me. So as you continue through the rest of Holy Week, whether you're doing it individually or you're showing up at our Maundy Thursday service or the Ecumenical Walk of the Cross and or Easter Sunday, I just invite you to continue to be in this space of the Passion Week and having lots of grace and gentleness for yourself, and just be with the story, as there is so much for us as we reflect on our own life to gain from the story. Have a blessed week, and I'll see you on Easter.